You spending part of your evening with us. That is Nightly News for this Tuesday night. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, thank you for watching and good night.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, more inmates are charged in the murder of a detainee at the Hagatnya Laka. Plus, they were here on their long overdue honeymoon when tragedy hit. Keani Mendiola speaks with the husband of the woman who drowned over the weekend. And island mayors debate their next move on whether or not to have a carnival for this year's Liberation.
Hafaday and good evening.
More charges and additional people allegedly involved. New details coming out in the December killing of a detainee at the Hagatnya detention facility.
One of the new suspects already serving time for another murder, and the other had been accused of the beating of Justin Meno at the prison's maximum security unit. Here's more.
A surprising twist of events in the prison murder case. With just days before trial, two more defendants are named in a superseding indictment. Vincent Menicio faces multiple charges of solicitation to murder and solicitation to aggravated assault, all as felonies. Jeremiah Ishizaki is charged with solicitation to murder and conspiracy to commit murder, both as first-degree felonies. They join murder suspects Marvin Retcham, Benster Benjamin, Albert Santos II, Jimmy Hadley, Aylas Cimarron, Eisler Miller, and Andrew Rios Jr., who was accused of raping the victim as he took his last breaths. The same superseding indictment includes additional charges for some of the original defendants. Those charges include solicitation to commit murder, witness tampering, obstructing government functions, and special allegations for vulnerable victim enhancement. In court today, Ishizaki, who was on pretrial release in other cases, was taken into custody after pleading not guilty to the new charges against him. Like his co-defendants, bail was set at $250,000. Though Menicio appeared via video teleconference, he couldn't enter a plea. His appointed attorney, William Gavris, was not present. Menicio is currently serving 25 years in jail for a 2011 murder. The remaining defendants pleaded not guilty to the additional charges, with the exception of Rios, whose attorney had to withdraw due to a conflict. In December 2017, Ernest Manson, also known as Manson Isar, was found dead in his jail cell. Though it was initially believed he died from natural causes, an autopsy revealed he had been brutally beaten. Court documents call the beating a revenge attack on Isar, who was in jail for allegedly raping a teen with Down syndrome. The first 6 named defendants allegedly took turns assaulting Isar before he was allegedly raped by Rios. When prison guards found Isar, there was no trace of the attack. Court documents state his cellmates changed his clothes because he had urinated and defecated on himself. No one said anything in fear they'd be targeted next. Several defense filings provide further detail of the attack. Rios, for example, has filed a motion to dismiss his case on grounds there was no evidence that Isar had been sodomized. Santos, who filed a motion to sever, also details who said what to investigators. Some defendants taking sole responsibility, some choosing to keep quiet until they could strike a deal with the government, and others saying they knew nothing of the incident. All motions will be argued in a hearing on Monday, ahead of next Friday's scheduled jury selection.
And then Murphy's.
He caused quite the shakeup at his work, but it seems there will be no jail time for a former Department of Public Works staffer busted for selling drugs on the job. Francis Dunca in court today was sentenced to 3 years incarceration, all of which was suspended, with with credit for time served. The court in its decision considered Dunca's serious medical issues, his young child, and his likelihood to reoffend. Last summer, during a sweep of the DPW compound, authorities found a bag with suspected drug residue in his car. Though he could have got away with a minor offense for the drug residue alone, he voluntarily provided additional information to police that he had been selling the drug ice to help pay for his medical bills.
In total, he raised $9 grand in drug sales, all of which was forfeited. Dunca told the court today, quote, "I was just trying to survive. I'm deeply sorry. What I did was the wrong thing." Though he was spared jail time, it looks like he'll have more bills to pay. The court ordered a $5,000 fine in addition to 150 hours of community service. Dunca, who pleaded guilty to possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as well as official misconduct, can never work for GovGuam again. His attorney, Jeff Moots, advised the court that Dunca is currently living off the remainder of his retirement fund with hopes of working for family willing to employ him once his case is closed.
The governor's office says this year's Liberation is strengthening the spirit of Guam, but mayors are on the fence about the Liberation Carnival.
Yeah, the issue heavily debated since last year's snafu after the law was changed, banning gambling at the event. So the big question, will there be a carnival this summer? Carmen Chalahi has the story.
Mayors are out of luck that the gambling laws at the Liberation Carnival will change, standing by their ultimatum that they'll only host the carnival if games of chance like Betu Betu or the color games are on the table.
It's too late already for the carnival to start at the end of May, when we usually have. And obviously, if we don't get anything by April 30, then we can't even do anything.
It's a little too late for carnival prep, though Executive Director of the Mayor's Council, Angel Sablan, says mayors might be able to have a shorter version for 2 weeks in July. That's if they find corporate sponsors or other civic entities like GVB to pick up the event. Their deadline, April 30th.
I think we should offer it out to whoever wants. American Red Cross, Sanctuary, GVB, Boy Scouts, whoever wants to take it on and sponsor it.
Adding that other festivities like the Liberation Parade and the memorials will go on as planned.
The parade is definitely going to be done by the Mayor's Council. The memorials in all the 7 different seven memorials, and the raffle, which is going to help pay for the Queen's float and the stage, the parade, and also, of course, the prizes to get back out to the community.
The mayors are taking caution when spending. Meantime, mayors say the administration is putting together a team in hopes of finding a solution to the carnival woes. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Cherlahi.
Mayors are taking on another hat this time to address village sanitation complaints. According to the Division of Environmental Health, all complaints regarding village sanitation like littering, rodents, poultry, livestock, or foul smells are to be sent to the village mayors to resolve. Executive Director Angel Saplan saying it's nothing new, but would allow them to get more involved in the reporting process.
All these other stuff that are a sanitary concern, like the illegal dumping, the neighbors, piling up the pig feed or having a pig farm where it's not supposed to be. They're asking us to make those documentations, and then we'll turn it over to the affected agencies that can take action on those things.
You're second.
Public Health says the change is to decrease the burden after being swamped with over 12,000 sanitation inspections of public facilities that are supposed to be conducted at least once every 3 months, not to include other health programs like mosquito control.
Now that the 25% increase in the business privilege tax has kicked in, consumers may be feeling the pinch of higher prices. Speaking
before a local business group, a former senator and outspoken critic of the tax hike predicts that in this case, what goes up will not come down. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Former lawmaker Robert Klitsky was the guest of the Northern Guam Rotarians. Speaking out on the tax hike, says he's done repeatedly of late at legislative public hearings. The temporary increase in BPT that went into effect April 1st is set to end on September 30. But Klitsky points out that history and logic will tell you the price hikes are here to stay.
We went through this back in 2003. When the GRT goes back to the old level of 4%, there's no reason for anyone, you could never expect any businessman to lower his price because this is something that is sometimes forgotten. People are in business to make money. You heard it here first.
And adding insult to injury, he says, come October 1st, yet another big bite out of consumer pocketbooks.
You're taking a higher price and then you're slapping a 2% sales tax on that, as what Amir said. So it's a double whammy for those for those folks who are least able to bear the tax. So
Klitsky voicing the frustrations expressed by many, but it's not just the little guys that should be concerned. He says come October, the duty-free tourism mantra Guam's been pushing for more than 40 years will no longer apply.
The price you see is the price you pay. But when we add a sales tax to it, it changes the marketability of shopping on Guam. To what extent? I don't know. I don't think it's the kind of thing that I want to be guessing about, because tourism is everything.
In sum, the bottom line for Klitsky?
An effective, efficient government that provides basic services in accordance with the rule of law on at least a break-even basis.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
To experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
They were on Guam for their long-awaited honeymoon. 49-year-old Melissa Murphy and her husband Scott spent this past weekend taking in the beauty of the island. But the unexpected occurred after the couple had been both swept out over the reef on Sunday.
Yeah, the end result, tragic. Melissa drowned that day. Now her husband Scott is speaking out and honoring his wife for more than 2 decades. County Medilla has the story.
Married for 28 years and parents of 3,
Scott and Melissa Murphy came to Guam for the honeymoon they never had. Both being teachers and on spring break, it seemed like the perfect time.
We got married fairly young. I was 22, she was 20. We never really took a honeymoon. And we always said one of these years we're going to take a honeymoon. And had an opportunity to come to Guam over our school's spring break. And that was our honeymoon.
For the past 2 years, the couple has been working as teachers at a private school in China. Originally both from the Kansas City area, they had wanted to visit somewhere tropical. Their first time to Guam, the couple arrived Friday evening. And after doing research online, they had planned to visit a popular spot known as Sharks Cove on Sunday.
We had a very enjoyable walk out to that area and enjoyed the shallows and swam.
But being unfamiliar with Guam's waters, they didn't anticipate what would happen next.
We wanted to go out just a little bit further, and she wanted to look around the corner of this little point. And what happened when we got out to that area is we got caught in the riptide, and it pulled us out into a big blue hole. And when that happened, we were both trying to figure out which direction the current was taking us, because it seemed to be kind of swirling and difficult to figure out from being in the water. And we ended up in some heavier surf. The tide had taken us to some heavier surf. And I was able to get in contact with her once or twice through that, but we kept getting separated because of the waves. And eventually I just lost contact with her completely. And at that point I just rolled over on my back. I was praying the whole time.
He continued to lay on his back and body surf as the waves pushed him back toward the shallows. Badly cut up by coral, Murphy quickly ran to the shore for help.
Finally found a fisherman, and we started calling 911 at that point. But then it was too late.
After a search by GFD, the Coast Guard, and HSC-25, Melissa was found an hour later and airlifted to Naval Hospital. Sadly, she did not survive. This was Melissa's final post on Facebook, sharing her excitement for Sunday's adventure. Now, her husband wants everyone to know the kind of person she was.
I married a very special woman. She was just a very giving and very caring person. She had a very ready smile, beautiful dimples. Whenever she would walk in, other people didn't fear her. They weren't concerned about her presence. They enjoyed her presence being there. They enjoyed when she would come into the room. Countless times people have reminded me of those episodes in our lives where God used us to really bless someone else or to help someone else.
Murphy is thankful for the kind words he has received from others. He would especially like to thank Guam National Guard chaplain Pastor Rick Kelly, who has been there aiding him while here on island. Murphy will be planning a memorial for Melissa sometime next week when he returns to the States.
There's a cross that's now up out at Sharks Cove. I don't know who put it back up, but whether they knew it or not, that was special to me. To see that the cross was back up. It's not easy. It's not a pleasant thing to go through, but the people of Guam have made it easier and not harder, which is a blessing.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Kiani Mendiola.
After serving Guam for 35 years, the Department of Public Health and Social Services Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children has now been upgraded as of March 27th. Participants will no longer have to receive benefits through paper checks, but rather through an EBT card known as eWIC. To make a transaction, all clients will have to do is slide an eWIC card through a machine at an approved WIC vendor's checkout register, making transactions faster and easier, and overall improving the shopping experience for both clients and vendors. Vendors will continue to honor paper checks for WIC clients who have already received their benefits for their valid periods.
Well, it's sure to be an experience like no other. Holy Festival is set for this weekend. Officials of the event speaking about it during a press conference at the Dusutani today. The celebration, they say, dates back to the 7th century, starting in India, and has since grown to major cities across the world. The festival will include colored powder, crafts, music, art, and food trucks, along with games. It's said to be a family-friendly event. Holy Festival 2018 is set for 3 p.m. to midnight this Saturday at the Guam Greyhound Park in Tamuning. You can grab your tickets now on Eventbrite.com.
4 months into 2018, and it's still all about coral. If you're not afraid of getting your toes in the water and learn to protect Guam's coral reefs, this next event is for you.
Carmen Talahi has this week's Think Green.
Reefs have to be monitored for protection and preservation.
We host coral reef monitoring training, and at this free training, residents get to learn about our coral reefs, and they learn 2 kinds of ways to survey them, and the data that they learn how to collect this Saturday actually helps us understand or know what's happening on our reefs.
Mary Bell Kanata is the program coordinator for the Friends of Reef Guam. She invites all to the free coral reef monitoring training happening this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at PD's Tapungan Beach Park near Fisheye.
The goal is to just bring people together. It's a good way to learn more about our the threats to our reefs and ways we're trying to help it.
Participants should be ready to snorkel.
We always see new things in the water, new different kind of species. Like we saw one pipefish that looks like a blade of seagrass, and normally you might swim right over it, but with the reef monitoring, you're able to kind of focus on what you're looking at, and you start finding things that you never really noticed before.
All interested coral reef enthusiasts should sign up online. The event just one of many that are celebrating the Year of the Reef. For this week's Think Green, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Well, sports is coming up, but first, weather.
We only have 30 seconds to describe the newest specialty flavor in the Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's, Garlic White Cheddar. It's layered with a slice of smooth, perfectly melty white cheddar cheese, a crunchy medley of tasty crispy garlic chips, a dramatic drizzle of smooth, delicious, and flavorful, delectably creamy garlic aioli, all come together with a mouth-wateringly juicy tomato slice and crisp iceberg lettuce atop crispy buttermilk chicken on a soft, warm artisan roll. Luckily, you can take all the time you need to savor every bite. The Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
They don't want these coming out. Mexican spices, nacho cheese sauce.
Critics and fans agree nacho fries are a masterpiece. It'll change the way you look at fries, craves The Hollywood Reporter. Nacho fries, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I'll get you some judo news from the Purebred Academy, along with some sling stone news from Team Guam. But first off, men's basketball from the Guam Elite Center in Teasen. Check it out. All-Island alumni basketball from Teasen. The Sharks and Elite Friars meeting up in the playoffs. Friars win the tip-off. Will Stinnett with the pass from Napoleon Finch gets to finish off glass. Home court advantage. Sharks looking to attack the paint. Justin Andre to Jay Casemiro. Back to Andre. Nice court vision to find Reggie Rechabong spotting up on the left side. Rechabong with the pump fake. Resets his feet and drains the deep ball from the outside. Dom Sablon with the quick pass to Finch. Going window on the short jumper. Knapp with a shot out to the Sharks bench. Frank Farron dribbles right off the Justin Andre screen. Sharks work the pick and roll. Justin showing some touch on the ball with the floater. Who says linebackers can't ball? Will Stinnett draws the defender down low. Kick out pass to Dom Sablon. Little hesitation move to get Rechabong to overcommit. Sablon sinks the pull-up jumper for 2 points. Friars Elite pull off the win in double overtime, 63-55. Jay Casemiro with the bucket in his team's losing effort. Purebred Guam will be hosting a judo seminar Friday at the Purebred Jiu-Jitsu Academy headquarters. Judoka Elizabeth Willibords, a 2008 Olympic bronze medalist at the Beijing Games, World Championships runner-up in 2009, European champion in 2005 and 2010, two-time European titles and 9-time World Cups, will be conducting the seminar.
I'm very happy to be here, and up until now, people really want to help me to enjoy the island. And you know, I went paddleboarding, and I got my diver certification, and today I went on a hike again. And yeah, this is really wonderful to meet all new people and just to have fun and train.
The seminar starts at 6 p.m. and is free to all judo and BJJ competitors.
Since it's open for judo players and BJJ players, it's very important to do something that they both can enjoy, and I'm going to do a tachiwaza technique, so a standing technique, which is also can also be very helpful in BJJ. I won't be doing any ground techniques because they are, I mean, I cannot teach anyone anything here because they're way too good for that.
After bringing home some awards from Majorca, Spain, in the sport of slinging, Guam's competitors are back home spreading their knowledge of the art to the younger generation.
The sport of slinging is very unique to our culture. It's not something that's been introduced from outside sport, but it's actually a sport from the ancient time.
Josiah Perez was Guam's youngest competitor, winning first in the Youth International Division and second in the Youth Division.
It feels good getting cool awards and all the other stuff. It felt amazing and so awesome to be in all your different countries.
Brandy Uggan came home with a second-place finish in the women's division and a first-place finish in the women's international category. You can catch the team slinging every Wednesday at the Paseo Stadium next to the hut where the Glides are at 5:30.
It's really open for everybody, and it's a way to share culture with everybody, and I really like to see it grow. It's something you could do with your family, with your friends, meet people, and there's definitely traveling involved to look forward to if you take it that seriously.
Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Every time I travel, there's something from home that I can't leave without. I take my Docomo Pacific Data to Go to share my stories in Taiwan, check subway routes in Tokyo, be my food guide in Hong Kong, meet new friends in the Philippines, make updates in the States, find my way around Korea, and check out all the cool shows in Singapore. It's the data I have in all the places I love for only $10 a day. Data to Go from Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Celebrate the magic of Southern Guam on the Talafofo River at the Valley of the Leti River Festival 3 on April 7th and the 8th. Explore the Talafofo River on a riverboat, tour our pineapple plantation, ride a carabao, ply on traditional canoes, throw a talaza, feast on delicious chamorro food, enjoy cultural dancing and local entertainment all day long. Canoe carvers, artists, farmers, and traditional healers will celebrate with us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Celebrating Southern Guam is presented by the mayors of Talafofo Seafood and Inarahan, GVB, Foodies, Pepsi, Takagi and Associates, Kloppenberg Enterprises, Jungle Riverboat, Heineken, Blue Moon, Miller Lite. Please enjoy responsibly. And KUAM Communications. Visit valleyoftheletty.com or call 789-3342 for information. Advanced ticket sales available at all Foodies locations. $20 for adults, $10 for students. Seniors 65 and over and children 5 and below are free of charge.
Guam is more than a tiny island in the Pacific. This magical place is where I call home. This island inspires me to learn and explore what's around me. It teaches me that there are no shortcuts in life and that the long way home may just be the scenic route. And that even the dirt roads can lead you to beautiful destinations.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Elvira Messnan, to my baby sister from Rhoda. Happy birthday, Janika Padilla. Happy birthday to our beautiful daughter. We love you with all our hearts. Love Daddy, Mommy, Jaden, Jashea, and Jericho. Happy 18th birthday going out to Justin Jesse. Love the Familia. And happy birthday to our very own Ashley Salas. Also, happy belated birthday to Ivana Sunction.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date.
And keep it here. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.
Thanks for sticking with us for KUAM News Extra. In our lineup tonight, we're talking pancakes and school lunch. But first, we've got an aspiring leader, Keandra McDonald, for this week's Culture Club. Here's Lacey Martinez.
Living away from Guam for a few short years was enough to inspire one young woman to do better for her island. Meet Keandra McDonald, who turns 20 this April. She grew up in Guam and moved to Washington when her father received his military orders. She was just entering high school when culture shock turned into an opportunity to showcase her home.
I started to notice when I got into high school how different I really was compared to everyone else. Because where I was living in Bellingham, Washington, there's not many Pacific Islanders there. In fact, when I was in high school, I was considered the less than 1% of our entire county of the diversity that we have.
In high school, people didn't know what to make of her. She was even asked if she was of Mexican descent.